Addendum, Chapter 64, Protocols of the Elders of Shabazz. Black people are forming independent, self-reliant communities all over the world. Some are fairly large, such as the one that moved to Israel under the leadership of Ben Ami. Others are very small, consisting of only a handful of people. The small ones will eventually merge with others and form larger communities with their own land, farms, businesses, and all essential services. Many Black people realize that the economy of the white man's world has reached a point of no return in its demise. It is so riddled with corruption and greed that it cannot be re-stimulated. It will self-destruct and a new economy will replace it. Black people, especially African Americans, will be the key to this coming new economy. The elders of the community of Black people that is soon to come have given the protocols to be used by the new communities. Yes, there are elders involved in this transition, and their wisdom is unsurpassed. They have advised that the new communities that are being formed must have protocols that will guide them. These are the protocols I will outline here. They are not a complete legal system to guide every detail of the communal life. Instead, they provide the backbone that is necessary for each community to succeed. Once the foundation is in place and is adhered to, the other details can then be governed by laws formulated locally according to the needs of each one. The protocols of the elders of the Black community. This is a community of peace. The members live at peace with one another. Anyone who brings discord to another brings discord to the whole community. If found guilty of bringing discord, he will be banished from the community for 1 year. If found guilty of a second offense, whether similar or not, he will be banished for 3 years. If found guilty of a third offense, he will be banished permanently. This is a community of prosperity. All the members are expected to contribute as much of their productive energy as possible to the community. They are encouraged to invest as much as possible in community projects designed to provide necessary products and services to their members. They are expected to spend as much of their money as possible in the community's businesses and services. All members must donate 10 cents out of every dollar of their income to the community. This is a community of responsibility. All members are expected to work for the maintenance and improvement of the community. Anyone who refuses to work for the community or contribute to it in another way will be banished for 1 year, 3 years, and permanently on successive offenses. This is a community of families. All children who reach 18 years of age within a community are expected to marry within 5 years by their 23rd birthday. All single adults 18 years older who join the community are expected to marry within 5 years of joining. All who marry are expected to bear and or adopt Black children within 3 years of getting married. All childless married couples who join the community are expected to bear and or adopt Black children within 3 years of joining. Any married couples who refuse to bear and or adopt and raise Black children will be permanently banished from the community. Only members deemed by the family committee to be too old or otherwise incapacitated are exempt from the marriage and family laws. This is a community of Black people. All adult members are expected to marry Black people. Anyone who marries a non-Black will be banished from the community for as long as he stays married. If he divorces, he may come back to the community and bring his children if he has custody. But his mixed race children will not be allowed to marry other mixed race children. They may marry Black people who are not mixed race or remain single. If they remain single, they're the only people so allowed. If they remain single, they are not allowed to bear or adopt and raise children. If they marry Black people who are not mixed race, they will be expected to bear and or adopt and raise children according to the time schedule already discussed. Black people who are already married to non-Blacks when applying for membership will be refused membership unless they divorce. Anyone who contravenes these rules of marriage and family will be banished from this community. This is a community of unity. All the smaller communities are encouraged to join together into a larger community, obtain land, and live together in complete self-reliance. Enforcement of the protocols. This is a community of law and order. The community will choose 12 members, 6 men and 6 women who are deemed the wisest and most experienced to be the judgment committee. They will be voted into office by mature members at least 14 years of age who have been members for at least 6 months. They will vote 12 times, not all at once, but consecutively, one member at a time. The person with the most votes in the first round of voting will be the committee leader. The second to be chosen will rank second. The third will rank third, and so on down to the 12th, who will rank as the last and junior member. They will hear evidence for charges brought against any member, ask questions, and make a judgment. When 8 or more vote for guilty, he will be found guilty. When less than 8 vote for guilty, he will be found not guilty. Each committee member will make an independent decision. When all the evidence has been heard and the time has come to make a judgment, each judge will take one object from a bowl of 12 red identical objects and a second object from a similar bowl of 12 blue objects. Then he will enter a secret chamber alone and place one of the 2 objects in the voting container, a red object for guilty or a blue object for not guilty. He will then place the remaining object in the storage container next to it. The 2 containers will be made so that he can insert his vote without seeing or touching the other objects already placed therein. After all the judges have cast their vote, the committee leader and 2 other judges will bring the voting container and storage container into the main chamber and open them in front of all present and count the objects. If the red objects in the voting container are 8 or more, the defendant will be found guilty. If they are 7 or less, he will be found not guilty. The judges are forbidden from ever discussing their vote with each other or with anyone else. They will not discuss their decision before or after the casting. The judge's verdict is final. There will be no appeal. Anyone found guilty of interfering with the secret nature of casting the judge's votes, who tries to compromise the anonymity will be permanently banished from the community. If such a person is one of the judges, a temporary judge will be chosen by the others to replace him. If the defendant is then found guilty, the temporary judge will permanently replace him. His or her ranking will be the last and junior member, and the other rankings will raise accordingly. If found not guilty, he will be reseated to his position, and the temporary judge will vacate his seat. Only in this circumstance will the judges choose one of their own. In any other circumstance that a judge needs to be chosen, he or she will be chosen by popular vote of the mature members as described before. All the other committees, such as the Family Committee, Wealth Committee, Work Committee, Health Committee, etc., do not have the power of judgment. They will take their accusations, evaluations, and evidence to the Judgment Committee. Only the Judgment Committee will make judgment on the banishment or non-banishment of members. These protocols apply more especially to large communities of dozens of people, but may be modified for small communities of only a handful. We, Black people, are a common sense people. We will find and apply the spirit of the law when it is not possible to apply the letter of the law. Each community will ultimately have a judgment committee and other necessary committees, each one consisting ideally of 12 members, 6 men and 6 women. The smallest community can be as small as 2 people dedicated to helping one another and their people and to finding other like-minded Black people, or it may be as large as 14,000 people, which is the maximum number of people in each community who can form a real town and live together in complete self-reliance. So Black people who have formed independent communities, as well as those who intend to do so, whether those communities are large with hundreds of people or small with only a handful, are all advised to use these protocols. They will help to stabilize the new community until it becomes mature and self-reliant. Email the protocols to all of your friends and contacts. They are part of an ancient system of rules for forming a new society, modified especially for African Americans and other of the diaspora.